Hi everyone, Chris here from IELTS Advantage with another success story. So today we have Risha who's going to share her success with you guys so that you can learn from her. So Risha, can we start off just by introducing yourself to everybody?
Well, my name is Rasha, and I'm a teacher and also a mother of two children. So I work from India and currently living in Chandigarh, and I've given the exam to get settled in Canada. So it
Hmm.
was for peer purposes, and I would like to got I've got um, 8,777, which was
Hmm.
quite simple requirement for getting PR for Canada.
And was eight triple seven, were there those the exact scores that you got?
No, actually, in reading I got 7.5,
Hmm.
and in listening I got 8, and other listening and speaking and writing I got 7.
So congratulations. How does it feel now to have got the scores you need?
Yes, I'm feeling like I'm on a cloud nine,
Yeah.
and more than happy, I would say, after the struggle of 1 year.
Hmm.
I finally got 7 in writing, because earlier
Hmm.
I was getting 5.5,
Okay.
6.5. I was not getting 7, which is the prime requirement.
So from
But
5.5 to 7 in writing, that's huge, huge. And so how many times did you uh, fail the test, or how many times, or how long did it take you to go from 5.5 to 7?
I would say I've given 6 times, and in that I also got 7 in writing. I think fourth time,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't got that time 8 in listening.
Mm-hmm.
So again and again. So in
Mm-hmm.
total, I think I have given 7 times,
Mm-hmm.
and after 7 times, I got 8,777, which is
Mm-hmm.
the prime requirement. Yes.
Okay. And what was the most difficult part of that whole process? Or,
I
or
would
or there might
say,
have been several different difficult parts. So what would you say were your main obstacles to success?
first of all, I would say I was not getting that enough time,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a mother of 9 months old son.
Mm-hmm.
So sitting with him and studying, it was quite difficult. Then I came through IELTS Advantage, because I had some kind of thing. Yes, some this IELTS Advantage. They give free course. I think that was $1 course
Mm-hmm.
for writing purpose. So I thought of joining, but once I go through all your videos, I was so encouraged, and I had a hope, I would say that, because
Mm-hmm.
before that I was on in coaching institutes. They were just wasting my time, my energy, my money, and at the end of the day I wasn't getting what I wanted, because I've given the exam, and I was getting only 5.5 or 6. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I ask something from them, they still don't have that answer, because I'm a teacher, and being a teacher, I'm very on to asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
So when we were in institute, they just give you the question, ask you to write, and I think they never got time to check it, I would say that. And after checking, they will just tell you, okay, this is the problem. And I was not satisfied with the things, but once I go through your $1 that course, I got my answer. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
here I was lagging, because planning, I would say, the planning, because I got the question, I just started writing it. Whatever came in my mind, I used to just pen it down. But there I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I came through your all the things, type and all your videos. Then I got 7 in the first attempt, but unluckily I wasn't able to got 8 in listening.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I will try again, and finally there I got 7 in writing, which was, I read many people that they were saying that they are not getting a 7 in writing, and from the past 2 years they are trying.
Mm-hmm.
So that was very discouraging.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow, going through all your course, your writing part, checking and corrections, whatever feedback I'm getting from them,
Mm-hmm.
from you, is really beneficial. And yes,
Well,
yeah,
that's what we try and do. We just try and help people on the VIP course and give them as much information and help as we can. So, you mentioned a few things here that I'd like to talk about, because there are a few things that I think a lot of people watching this would maybe be in the same position as you were, or struggling with the same thing. So you talked a lot about time there, and you're a professional teacher. You've got two kids. One's just 9 months old.
yes,
Um, a lot of people who we speak to say, I want to improve, but I don't have time to improve. I just don't
yes.
have time to get everything done. My answer to that is normally, you'll find time if you want time. But maybe I'm a little bit harsh, because people have told me that in the past. So what advice would you give to someone who's busy?
Yes, I would say we have 24 hours. We can take out time for ourselves if we want to succeed. So once my kid is sleeping, I just keep on watching your videos, your Facebook videos, whatever the comment somebody's writing, essays somebody's writing, because they are worth. They are exactly whatever you have guided them. So I read all the essays which were in comments, all the letters which were in comments, and I managed. If I won't be able to give the feedback or writing anything, I'm not so actively participating. But once things were going on, so I read all the essays. I keep it penned down. Somehow I got time, like in the night.
Hmm.
That is our me time. We need to take out time for ourselves. I recommend all the people that
Hmm.
if you want something, you have to put some time on them.
Yeah. No, I'd absolutely agree that, like, that's something I say to everybody, is we all have 24 hours in a day. It's just some people use those 24 hours much better than other people. It's
Yes.
amazing that one of the exercises that I get our VIP students to do, if they are having this problem, is I say, okay, the next 3 days, please record all your time, and record when
Yes.
you're sleeping, what you're doing every single hour. And normally when they do that, they're like, oh my gosh, I spend 3 hours a day on Facebook, or I
Yes.
spend 6 hours, chatting to
Yeah.
my friends or playing with my
Yes.
kids or something like that. And it's like, okay, you don't need 6 hours a day. You just need
No.
one or two,
Fun.
and
Yeah.
if you can find that time, and the most important thing is to block that time off. So
Yes.
this is something that I do, and I share this with my team. I try and get my team to do it. I say, if you don't block off that schedule, schedule that time, it won't happen. Like, if it's not in your calendar, it's not going to
It
happen.
will.
Yeah, it
Yes.
just, because other life gets in the way. So if you look at my calendar, every hour is in a block, and I'm much better than I was years ago.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are like, I don't have time to do that in my calendar. It's like, oh, it's like you will find
Yes.
the time if you do that. The
Yes.
other
If
the
you
other
want it,
thing
you can find
is,
out time.
so I think the first step, as you said, is getting that time, but then it's what you do with that block of time. So if you have 1 hour and all you do is watch YouTube videos about IELTS, that's a complete waste of time. But
Yeah.
if you get someone like myself, I'm not saying that I want you to join my course or anything like that, because I don't really have that much time to help a lot of people, but get someone to help
Yes.
you decide what you need to work on. Because for a
Okay.
lot of people, it's only 2 or 3 things they need to work on. So instead of going to class every day for an hour and learning about stuff that's not relevant to you, just find out the exact things that you need to work on. The analogy I always use is, if your car was broken down, you wouldn't just get a new car. You would find out the exact thing wrong with your car and fix that.
Okay.
And
Exactly.
that's the same approach that we would use. Would you agree with all of that? Sorry, I'm
Yes.
doing more
I,
talking than you are.
no, no, you are completely right. I'm in a habit of listening you for I think 2 to 3 hours. I've seen all your live video, not exactly live, but yeah,
Mm,
they were offline.
mm,
So I'm completely agree with you. Your all things are authentic,
mm,
exactly what we needed
mm,
during writing. Because earlier I was taking 40 more than 40 minutes to write an essay,
mm,
but after joining your course, it won't take me more than 30 to 35 minutes. And still I left with 15 minutes. This time I left with 15 minutes to recheck my each and every
Wow.
line.
I couldn't do that. That's amazing. I'd be checking every single word to make sure.
Yeah, in the exam, you are in stress, you are in hurry also, and still I got 15 minutes. I was applauding myself. Yes, you got 15 minutes and you can still check out your spelling mistakes and grammar mistakes. So overall it was, I would like to thank you only.
You're welcome. The other thing you talked about was being really unhappy with the coaching institute that you were at. So some people call these language centers, IELTS schools, review centers. We get a huge number of complaints about these. Not all of them are bad. Some of them are amazing, but a lot of them are not so amazing. What would you say to someone who's thinking of joining an institute or a school, or is not happy with it? What would be some of the warning signs? And you are you're a professional teacher. What would you say about this to
I would say joining course is like, okay, you are taking out 4 to 3 hours for them, and still you are not getting what you wanted. They just give you 4 3 words, and they pushed me to just put it in your essay, some difficult words which are not relevant, and each time they ask me to, whatever the essay, just you have to put all these words in your essays. I asked how. They said, okay, do it. And they have many examples. I said, no, I can't put it like this, because I would say 100% rule. If you're sure that yes, this word is easy, authentic, and it is going good with your essay or letter, so put it. Because one thing I've learned from your course, like synonyms, I have list of synonyms for happy, sad, good, bad. I've learned all the different words related to one word, like, okay, internet, cyberspace, whatever. So it helped me a lot, because repeating words, might be I was not getting that that score just because I was repeating each and every word. If I want to write new, so if I'm writing continuously new word in my essay, so it was like something is going and was going bad. Then I learned new words related to new and good, bad, easy. So these words you can use anywhere, but if you use it in synonym, different words, so it was helpful. But in institutes, they were like, they're not guiding you in a correct way. They are not asking you to plan. They were just asking you to learn all these words, use it vaguely, without any thinking. You have to know, you have to write it down. You don't know. I just forgot all those things, and I just started following you. That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of the worst thing you could ever tell a student. Just learn these words and put them into your essay, and you'll get a good score. I think if anyone is in that position where they're not happy with their school or not happy with their teacher, talk to them about it. A good teacher, if you have not a complaint, but you're concerned about something, a good teacher should be very open to that conversation. They should, because they want to improve. Like, one of the things that we always ask you guys on the VIP course is, like, tell us what you're not happy with, because we want to make it better. So I think if someone is good at their job, they will have a very positive attitude to that criticism. But if someone is very defensive and they don't want to talk about it, or they get angry with you, that's a sign that they don't really know what they're talking about, so I would be careful with that. So the last thing I want to talk about is a lot of people need 8 in 8777. They need 8 in listening for the Canada, the Canadian immigration. What would you advise someone who is maybe at a 7.5? They need to get to an 8 in listening.
I would advise them, because once the CD was playing, you need to focus on the question. Read it in 1 or 2 minutes. Keep that question in your mind, because conversations keep on going on, and they are not repeating they are not telling you the exact word. and they are not answering in the same way whatever the question is going on. So you need to be very careful about the synonyms, the language, and the tone also, because I just say that once they were going through the question, just imagine the answer, what answer it would be. And somehow 50-60% is used to be the same one, whatever I keep in mind, like it is related to food. There must be something related to food. So it helped me a lot to finding that exact number. Even I got 9 also one.
You got 9 in listening? Wow.
Not this time, but earlier, because
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
was lagging only in writing, and just because of writing, I was not able to got this. But this time, listening wasn't that easy. It was quite tough. Earlier, I've given, that was quite easy, and that time I got 9 also.
Wow.
But it's all about luck, I would say. Listening is all about luck.
Well, I would disagree with you there. I wouldn't say that it's luck, because the advice that you just gave is really, really good advice. Number one, you said, keep going, because the recording is not going to stop. You need to just keep going through the question. Read the question, analyze the question, think about it, keep it in your mind, and then get going. And when that question is over, move to the next one, move to the next one, move to the next one, because it's not going to stop. The recording is not going to stop for you. The other thing that you said is it will just be played one time. Get used to listening to English one time. What happens is a lot of students listen over and over again to something 5 times until they get it. And then they do the IELTS test. They're like, oh, I didn't get that, and it's sometimes it's useful to listen to things multiple times, but you do need to get used to listening to just one time. And the other thing that you said is dead on as well. Synonyms. When you're listening, don't listen for the specific thing that's written down in the question. Have an open mind and think, well, they might put this in a different way. For example, you might be filling in a form, and the context is like hotel reservation, and it might say arrival time. So you're thinking for like arrival time, and then it says something like time you will get there. You'll get here at blah 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 blah. So it's a paraphrase of what is actually in the question.
Yes, exactly.
And then the final thing that you said was predict the answer before you hear it, which is really great advice. Yes. Look at the question. It will often allow you to predict the type of word, the word form, like noun or verb or adjective, or a type of information like a credit card number, phone number, place name, person's name. And then what that does is it allows you to kind of tune out all the other information. You're just listening for that particular thing. And then it's like, okay, that's the answer. Write it down. Okay, that's the answer. Write it down. So
exactly.
Would you, as a band 9 person, would you agree with all that?
Yes. I exactly agree with you.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to go and I'll take up more of your time, because I'm sure that IELTS has taken you away from your kids for too many hours already. And when would you be moving to Canada?
Might be in 2 months.
I'd maybe wait until the end of the winter. That's probably a better time to go. You don't want to go. Exactly. You don't want to go in the middle of the winter to Canada.
No.
All right, Risha. Thank you very much for sharing your story with everyone. And if you need anything in the future, feel free to get in touch. Oh, we just lost you.
Sure. Thanks a lot to you also.
Thank you. Bye-bye.